Greetings, sacred beings. Welcome to Sacred HERstory podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Natasia, and today, for our Sacred HERstory guest speaker, we have this amazing woman, Stephanie King, owner of Solstice Living, who is a professional home organizer, author, and holistic wellness advocate based in Houston, Texas, with a passion for empowering clients to create clutter-free spaces. She is a Reiki master and certified guided energy medicine facilitator. Stephanie integrates holistic principles into her organizing work, helping clients clear both physical clutter and stagnant energy to create harmonious living space. So her work has been featured in numerous outlets, including Houston Chronicles and Homes and Gardens, and she has appeared multiple times on Fox 26 Houston Morning Show. Oh my gosh, what accomplishment. And wow, Stephanie, this is incredible. I mean, talk about not just decluttering, but the energy around it. Please share more about this. What made you go into this? What's the story behind Solstice Living?
So I started first with the home organizing and random enough, I was like thinking about this last night, like what do I share? What do I tell? And it starts when I tore my ACL and meniscus and MCL and I had to have surgery. And it just kind of put me on pause in life and reflection and everything like that. And so I ended up quitting a job that I'd been at for 4 years to travel the US. And I went from like national park to national park. And I was at like some mountaintop somewhere, I have no idea where. And I was like, I want to work for myself. I have a natural talent because it was really hard. Like, okay, what do you want to do? Like, if you don't work for you, you have to have a talent. And it's like those things that you don't even realize are a gift because it's so natural and ingrained in like who you are. And that is organizing for me. And so like that came to me. And then the energy aspect was around the same time as well. I was like at some bar in Key West. I sat next to a woman who just started talking to me about her life story and how a high school friend who she hadn't talked to in 20 years reached out and was like, you need to go to Sedona. You need to see these people. You need to get healing. She had, I think it was ovarian cancer or something. And she did that 3 sessions, went back, scans were gone. And she was telling me about this and they were doing Reiki on her. And I was like, what is Reiki? I've never heard of it or anything. And it took me down that rabbit hole of energy. And I came back to Houston, decided to start the business here. I went to see Reiki masters all around this area. I went to Sedona, and I just kind of deep dived into energy work. And it just aligned wholeheartedly with who I was and what I was looking for. And the way I was already clearing energy physically off my body, and like throwing it. I would throw it out into the ether, not rather than like earth or sun or fire, but like, it's like you're already naturally doing things to protect yourself without even realizing. And it's just a little more guidance, a little more education on how to do that. And so like when I'm with my clients, we do the same thing. We're clearing the physical energy, but we're also their emotional energy, their mental, spiritual. We're clearing those as well. And like I'm a firm believer that if you have physical clutter around you, there's something going on up here. And it could be you're stressed at work. It could be you're sad, you're grieving. It could be you had a job change and you're stressed. But physical clutter does not manifest unless there's something emotional or mental that is also clutterful. So long mouthful there, but
No, please share more because I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. When there's something, when things get clutter, like first thing I was thinking was hoarders.
yes,
And the mental health behind that and why they're holding on to all this stuff, you
correct.
know. And so,
Reverts back. Yeah. It's an actual mental health disorder now. And there's like a category of 5, and I work with hoarders quite often, and they're emotionally attached to everything, right? And if you look into it, there's a reason. And
yeah,
so there's a trauma that needs to be healed. There's something from their childhood or adulthood or um a fear, like if they get rid of something, something's going to happen, right? And it's not just I can't get that thing back. It's never this that's surface level, and so I do if someone is on the hoarding scale, I recommend that they talk to an actual therapist. But like we're constantly asking questions and trying to dig deeper into, okay, why do you want to keep this? If they have 7 spatulas, do we need 7 spatulas? Like let's sit with this and maybe we can get rid of 2 that day and they keep 5 and that's great. But it's like we get them starting to talk about why they're holding on and what memory is associated with that. And sometimes they can take a picture of an item, and that's good enough for them that it brings back the memory, the love, the warmth, whatever it is that it's associated with, and they're able to let go of the physical item. But no, it's very hard for some clients to do that. And so we just go through like different practices on letting go of things and holding on to memories, making, photo books or something, or doing the healing energy. So like we'll do clearing sometimes for clients as well, to help them kind of process and let go of things.
I love it. It's this deep medicine, and it's also sounds a bit ceremonial as well.
Yes, yes. I mean, you're being invited into someone's home, which is like your most private, sacred space. And
Mhm.
for them, it's not safe yet. And so our goal is to make it safe. And it is very ritualistic because we're following the same process for any room as far as the process. How do you put hands on it, you decide what you're going to keep it or let it go, or do you sell it or do you give it back, etc. And then you create a system for it. And so it is very procedural, and so you could say ceremonial. I'm not quite to the point of, bringing candles and lighting them, for a majority of my clients, but there are a few that will like sage and do clearings and like, with quite a few clients, we incorporate breath work to like calm them down, and then like if they're panicking, let's feel into your body, like where are you feeling the stress of not letting this go, or if you're overwhelmed, because I will ask them a million questions and it can be extremely emotional. And so it's like, all right, let's take a breath, or let's go walk outside, or let's go hug a tree even, and or dance it out, get some physical movement going. And so we just incorporate whatever they need. And I do truly believe I have a gift for this of like reading people to know what they need and to be able to suggest things, or like if they are struggling, all right, and then know how to allow them to take a break, to reset, to breathe, or maybe we're just done for the day. So it's a lot of fun for me. I love
Oh,
organizing. I love walking into a cluttered space and bringing calm to the chaos.
yes, yes.
Yeah, and
Being a parent, that's what you're doing on it.
all the time. Yes, parents have my utmost respect. Let me tell you, you
It's so
girls.
funny. Yeah, I was just thinking, I go, gosh, I just did this with my kids because there's something about, for me, I love an open space. There's the way
Yes,
the energy flows. So I
correct.
keep feng shuiing my house without really
Knowing,
knowing,
yeah,
but I
the
know
rules.
there's this certain flow. There needs to be a certain flow. And
Mhm.
in my kids' room, I'm like, what the F is this? Because there's my boys share, it's my boys. My little girl, she's so
A little
good.
more organized. Yeah.
Well, not really organized. She'll throw stuff around, like
Okay.
she'll get cluttered, and I would have to
Mhm.
help her organize it and make it look. She goes, and I did this one day, and she noticed this change in energy, right? She goes, Mom, my room is so different. And I go, yeah, baby, because there was a lot of stuck energy.
Yes, 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 yes.
And then with my boys, it's just throw clothes everywhere, mixing clean clothes with dirty clothes, stuff under the bed. And I'm like,
Oh,
how are you guys? Do you guys like living like this? I got to put it on them. So I'm just like, the whole thing with declutter, who wants to do it? But it's like when it's done, it's like, thank you.
yes. It's true. It truly is. Like you feel it, they feel a difference, like they'll be like, I slept better, or like I was having trouble with my husband and now like our relationship's better than it's ever been just because we did their bedroom. Or
Mm.
like I had one client, she said that after there was like a team of us there for like 2 weeks. She's like, my mother, I let her cross the threshold of my house for the first time in 10 years. And it's like it truly affects people on with the relationships, and it's not just about them and their energy. It's huge, but like you getting that energy flowing creates changes in you. It creates changes in the people coming into your house. It creates changes in your house. Like I talk to my house. My house is to me is an entity, and like
Yeah.
I come home, I greet her every day. And when we and so sometimes with depending on the client, we'll talk about it that way of like bring your house into conversations, and like what does your house need and where is the house feeling stuck of energy, and can you tune into that type thing? So like we can go down the woo-woo rabbit hole, which is the
Oh,
perfect
let's
podcast
go
for
down
it. But
the because I
yeah,
like that. I really like, oh, let me greet my home.
yeah,
Sometimes I just leave and I go, thank you. Thank you
yeah, no,
for the roof over our heads, and
correct. That's
hopefully
beautiful.
a
Yeah.
safe place. And sometimes I stand at the threshold and pray over my home because that's
Yes.
how I clear the energy.
Yes.
Quick, easy way for me to
Quick
do.
and easy. Yeah. last night we had we always have storms in Houston, but last night the thunder was so loud it like woke me up in the middle of the night. And I was just like, okay, house, do your thing, be strong, like please allow it, like protect and protect us all. And I'm part of a townhouse thing, and I was like, protect the other ones next to us. And yeah, it's just it makes you feel connected. And I do feel that it is like I could go down so sorry. So like one time I had like pipes were knocking in my house for like 6 months and it drove me crazy and I couldn't sleep. And I'm like, what is this? And I had like four plumbers out to like tell me what they could do and they all had to guess, right? And I did a
Okay.
gym, I guess I did a gym ceremony for my house to clear my house and I never heard the pipes groan again. And I was like, yes, thank you. And so that started me on the whole relationship with my house thing, but it was awesome. Yeah. So if you ever had house problems, guys, or ACs, my ACs, oh my gosh, I've done so many healings on my AC units. Yeah. It's funny. I know, but
I love
awesome.
this.
Yeah.
We're going
Yeah.
to, and really it's just the power that's already around us and within us
Mhm.
that
Correct.
is there to serve us. They
Yes.
want to
Oh, I got
help.
chills. Yeah.
And and we're not taught this. We're taught
Mm-mm.
to serve others and forget ourselves.
Correct.
And here you're doing this service, but you're teaching and you're giving, and everyone is in this oneness,
Mm.
becomes in this oneness, right? And the energy, you're getting it flowing. So this is so incredible. Did you always think that you would be this declutter woman?
No, never. No, no, no. It had never even been a thought, like owning my own business was never a thought either. I'd done no research. I had never even, it was never a concept that could be a reality. And like that one random mountaintop, like I've learned over the last 10 years, I get thoughts and I go with it. I don't question it, and it's like it just felt right. And like my entire spiritual journey for the last 20 years has been, does this align with myself? And like I can't tell you why I know this to be truth, but it's truth. And starting my business was that. Like I literally had it in April and like by May I had my website and I'd filed my DBA and like my dad is like, "Are you sure you want to do this stuff?" Like, and like worried of course because it's like I rented an apartment for 12 months and I had been traveling for a year. Like I didn't have solid income coming in, and I was like, "It's fine. Like we'll figure it out, like what's the worst that's going to happen? I might have to move in with my parents. Let's hope it doesn't come to that, but it's like a thing or a friend." Um and so no, I had never thought about it, but I jumped in. So I like at that point did a ton of research. I joined a national organization for organizers and I signed up for 18 months of their education. And like, yeah, who knew it existed, right?
What is this? A national organizer for?
Yeah. It's called the National Association of Productivity and Professional Organizers. It's NAPO, NAPO. Yeah, it exists. It's in every city, not every city, it's in every state. And so if you need to find an organizer in your home base, napo.net. Yeah.
Wow.
And there are people like me without the spiritual aspect of it. But yeah, no, like organizers I think are amazing humans and like we help people transform their lives literally and help them take back control of their lives because so often clutter makes you feel out of control and it makes you like feel embarrassed even or shame, and it's like no, like organizing is a skill that people have not been taught, and it's a skill that you can learn. It's like going to the gym, and you also have to, it's not like a one and done. You have to maintain it. So like once you clear the clutter, you create the systems, you then have to every night and or every week reset those systems. So it is never ending, unfortunately, but it's so worth it. And like once you're taught it and you're able to get rid of things and let things go and you maintain your house, like you said, you live in this energetic space and being that lights you up and feels safe. And like you come into a room and you'll feel a difference in that space as opposed to a room that's cluttered or dark, and like makes you want to like curl up in on yourself. So it's amazing. I love organizing. I truly think it's a soul gift for me, just because of like how natural it is. And like I'm able to like 2 years later, I'll go back to a client and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, we put your winter socks in this bin." Like my brain just knows it. And I have a horrible memory of like my entire life, but for some reason I can remember like how we organize clients' homes. So it's definitely quite, and I do think angels, like they'll tell me sometimes, like you'll
Yeah.
just a client will be like, "Hey Steph, where do we put this?" And I'll be like, one of three. And I'll like sit there and like, "All right, angels tell me." And then it'll just pop into my head of where it's at. And I'll tell them, be like, "Hey, check this." And like inevitably that is exactly where whatever item is. So I do have to give, a high five to my guides and angels that are also helping me a bit with that. But It's a fun journey.
I love it. I love what you do, and I love the mixing of the woo-woo in your
Yeah.
work, you know,
Yes.
and it's granted for those who are open to it, and then there's still that, okay, let's declutter. How do you, there's still that magic in it when you're asking the questions. Okay, how does this feel to
Yes.
you? I think that's so beautiful what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's quite fascinating too, because even those who like have no experience with woo woo or energy or healing or anything, like you get them thinking along those lines because they can physically feel a difference for the before to the after, you know? And so you get them just aware of the energy of their house, whether or not they're going to call it the energy of their house, you know? And even like feng shui, people are aware of what feng shui is. And so I'd say about 30% of my clients will ask me about feng shui or like, well, how do we do this room or whatnot? A very, very few will do like, hey, can we actually feng shui the house with the different sections, and they're like, I'm having trouble in relationships, and we'll go to that area of their house and be like, let's add, like a red something or whatnot. But uh,
Mm.
it's interesting. I love it so much.
So it's incredible. So this is about you. So curious, how was it growing up, and what did you think you would be before?
So funny and okay, so I did like color code my closet and like put it by maybe not color code per se, but I did have it by sleeve lengths, like I was always like that naturally without like it was just how my brain worked. Like I want to wear a tank top. I have a section of tank tops. I want to wear, like whatever. Athletic shorts are all with athletic gear and stuff like that. Um, I wouldn't say I was like the most organized besides my closet, like I was the type of person that I didn't want to make my bed, so I would just sleep on top of the covers and use a blanket, because I was like, I don't want to make my bed every day. Like that's no like ridiculous of an activity that I have to do. And so I like cheated the system a little bit, around that. But my dad was in the Navy.
Okay.
So we moved every year literally until I was 13. And so I was used to packing up, moving, unpacking. And when you unpack, that is like the epitome of organization because you're finding homes for every little item that you have. And so I was very good at that, doing it 13 years in a row.
Mhm.
And so I think that gave me the experience in order to see systems and then become good at it and seeing the spatial awareness of certain areas. And then my mom is exactly like me. And so watching her and learning from her as we did all these moves, also, I think, and some of it I think is ingrained, like we're born with it. But definitely, I think the lifestyle of moving so often. And then, like, once I hit college, I moved like 3 times in my 4 years. And then, like, post college, I joined cruise ships for 2 years. And then, so like that again was like you're living, like, you have to make the most of little spaces. You're like, I backpack like 50 days in a row a couple times, living out of a backpack for 50 days. So it's like I'm very good on space. And then post cruise ships, I also moved a lot. So I just move, 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 move. I think I did the math and it was like 27 moves in like 35 years or something.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and at least a year at each place. But that gives you, yeah, the knowledge and the experience of setting things up, homes up, and I've lived in a lot of homes. And so the energy of that too, I think, but never had done anything energetic wise um, as a kid and was not religious, was not anything. We moved too much to like establish ourselves in churches and such. And it was just, um, yeah, wasn't a thing. And then my friend and I read The Secret in like 2010, 2011, and it changed us like the manifesting basically of like, you're imagining what you want or need or like bringing it in to you and being positive. So rather than like, hey, don't crash, it's like drive safely, we'll see you when you get here, and just changing the way that we looked at the world to make it glass like full rather than even half full or whatnot. And we've been doing that ever since, just more positive and happy outlooks, I think. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
This is so incredible. So, do you see yourself staying in Texas for a while, or do you feel another move
Oh,
coming
that
in?
is the question. Is that like are you pinging me? Um,
Probably, I don't know. I go,
I know. Yeah,
there's energetic connection right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So I'm like, ancestors, just come on in, guides, come on
I
in.
love it. I
What do
love
you
it.
want to bring out of Stephanie?
So funny enough, like I bought my house a few years ago. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like I've connected with her and like the energy, especially my loft where I do all my ceremonies. It's like the most sacred place on this world for me.
Mhm.
But Houston is very flat and it's very humid. And I love mountains and I love like clear ocean waters and I love lakes and I crave those. And I used to travel a lot and I would always go to one of those more geographically beautiful areas. So my ideal goal dream, and I'm putting it out to the universe, is just to like buy a place somewhere else and live there over like, April to October and then come back to Houston in our cooler months. Um, just because the humidity is just so hot. Like I'm a cold baby that I've never lived in the cold, but I want to live in the cold. So yes, I see moves in my future, but more of like Houston will always be home. Like my parents are here, my brother, sister-in-law, four nephews, and so yes, I will always be here. But I don't have that need to move at all, which is interesting. Like I've made a foundation, made a home, roots here in Houston, in this house, in this area. I have wonderful friends, and so like that need is not there, surprisingly.
Mhm.
I've also done a ton of work. I had walls my entire life because when you move every year and make friends and your foundation shifts every year, like you don't like you just naturally don't get close to people. I can small talk with the best of you, but like I did a lot of work on breaking those walls down and letting people in. And so I feel like Houston is home. It's good. It will always be. But there's something still out there for me, and I don't know yet where, but it'll show itself when it's time.
Ooh, I love this.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
us more about this solstice living because you said you went through a rebranding.
Yes, ma'am. I was just status organized before, and it was pure organizing. And then I did the Shamanic Academy. That's how I met you at one of the intensives, and then became a Reiki master. And so I've been pursuing the energetic work on the side, and I did like a breathwork course, a year course for that. And so I felt a need to align those two parts of me because it was a struggle to like not show that the woo woo side, right? Because it's like, oh no, this is business, Stephanie. Like this is like I have to be a certain way. And I came to a point where it was just like, no, I don't. I have to be me 100%. That's all I'm going to be. And I am woo woo, like 100%. And yes, not all of my clients know this side of me. And if they saw this video, it may surprise them. But for the most part, I am wholeheartedly who I am. And me
Mm.
switching to Solstice Living was embracing that portion. And so I have started doing energy clearings for my clients themselves and also on their homes. And it's been absolutely amazing. And I've started sharing more of that side of myself through like my YouTube channel. And I took a break, like I've done nothing since December, but I'm back online as of like a week ago. And I don't know why it took 3 months, but I followed that. I was just burned out completely, I think, from we were doing so I don't know how you do so many videos, woman. Like you have like every 2 days, it's like you still need to have a post. And I'm like, how are you doing this? Like so much.
It's a season. It's just a season right now.
Right, right. Exactly. Yeah. And so for the last 2 years, I feel like I was in a creative journey. I created like YouTube videos, a course, a book, lots of like PDFs to sell, like how to organize your pantry, things like that. And I think I just needed a break from that. And so I gave myself permission, but it's that Stephanie's coming back online. What was I saying? I totally lost my train of thought. Will you guide me?
No, I love it. So the whole rebranding.
Oh,
So
thank you kindly. Yeah. So I rebranded and it took me a while to figure out the name, but and I made a business card and I put Soul Guide on it. And I look at it and I smirk and I laugh at that, because it's like, I'm just like, what are you doing, Steph? But I was like, I want to affect people on a soul level. Like I want people to embrace themselves on a soul level and get to know like who they are. And then like I will celebrate the equinoxes and the solstices and like Mabon and stuff like that if I have like the energy to do that. I celebrate full moons and new moons and I like talk to her and I like release things and I do ceremonies and so I'm very with the nature and times. And so that's what we did. I did solstice. And then living was just to incorporate kind of like the house, but also like how you live your life. And it's been very interesting transition. Um, like no one batted an eye, which was awesome. And maybe they spoke things, but not to me, which is great. And everyone's been very just like accepting of this other side of me that I thought was like a big deal and was not. Um, and so it's been nice to be authentic and let her just be her, me, me. but yeah, yeah, it's good.
Love it. I love the permission you give yourself in how you show up, because
Yeah.
we think, oh, we got to show up on YouTube and social media all the time and yada, yada, yada. And
Nope.
here's like, no, I need a pause,
I need a
you know?
pause. Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, like to answer your question, why are all these videos coming out? And it's really just the women. I felt it's important for women to share their stories,
Oh, well, thank you.
and yeah, because with history, it's his story, but we
Yep.
don't hear about her story. And
Yeah.
honoring, the sacredness of our journeys, each of our journeys. And one thing that I'm hearing is you're listening, you're bringing awareness, like you're letting yourself be guided to the true, authentic you. And that's how you're showing up.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're just being even more blessed with it, which is so beautiful. So I like, so where do you see Solstice Living going? Like,
So I did like I redid my gene keys and my human design like this last week, which is I think what's powering me through. And like my entire thing is like I'm not supposed to chase money. I'm not supposed to like do. I'm supposed to like listen and like uh show love. Like my presence allows people to just feel seen and heard. And so I really loved that like we reconnected at the ceremony like 2 weeks ago because it was like what you're doing is where I think I will take Solstice Living. And I had this thought during the academy a couple of years ago to interview women and to like of different modalities in the spiritual world to help them explain how they do their own clearings or their own groundings or what they like to help whoever's listening learn how they can do it for themselves. And so like education almost as far as because like one main thing the academy did for me was it allowed me like I would leave clients, I'm drained, I have no energy, my battery is done because I absorbed all of their energy from their house and from themselves, and I didn't know how to protect myself. And so the academy was worth its weight in gold because it taught me how to protect my energy. And so I want to do that for the world, right? Like I want to help educate women and men of just how to like align, and people that are sick or like don't have energy or that are like just feeling weighed down by the world. You have the control within your life to change this. Like you just have to put it out there and it will like you will invite things in. And even just like talking to my house or like asking my angels for a parking space, right? There's things that we can do to bring in the change, but people don't ask. And so I want to allow women, men to ask for that change, and to invite in exactly what they want in their world to affect happy, positive change. And so I don't yet know how that's going to be, but the human design was like, you're best at interviewing people. And I was like, how interesting. Let's play with that. So I might experiment. I might call back to you and we can do you sharing your gifts and how it can help our listeners. And so we'll see. But I'm going to keep organizing and just educating and sharing the world, of like how people can just like light up and bloom and be happy and joyful. So
I
we'll
love
see.
it. I
Yeah.
love all.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
would be so honored. So what is your human design? I was so curious.
I am a generator. Like you're going to ask me
Okay.
that memory thing, right? Like I have no memories or
Yeah.
like whatnot. Um, but it's like, so, I did a video on it the other day actually, and, for YouTube, and I haven't even posted it yet, but, it was do human design Claude.
I love how you're looking it up. You're like,
Yeah, I've
give
got
me
to,
a second. I need a,
I was like,
yeah.
we have to make sure.
Well,
Um,
I really love human design, when you can understand a bit more
yes.
and you're like, oh, wow. But, it's like there's so many things, that design is just one tool, but there's so many
Oh,
tools
there's a
within
million.
your,
Yeah.
your gene key as well.
I did Gene Keys too. Yeah, also good.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
basically is all about like my entire chart, anything you look at is about love. And like I'm just here to spread love, give love, feel love, etc. And I was like, that's so beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love those. I use them as almost like permission because it's one of my shadows, I remember, is seriousness. And I can be serious. I can be very focused to the grind, like, and the opposite of that is delight. And I was like, I love when I'm in full joy, like what I call joy. And like when you're feeling just all the love, in the universe. Like I did a quick clearing before here and was talking to God and just was like, the presence, of like surrounding your entire being to me is the delight, the joy. And rereading I don't know if it was Gene Keys or the Human Design, but giving yourself the permission that it's okay if I'm serious. Like that's part of who I am. It's part of my psyche and my charts. And like that's okay. And it's not bad. Like shadow is not bad. It's just part of me. And it's that not even permission, but in a way permission, that it's acceptable. And the goal is just not to sit in that, it's to feel it, work through it, use it to your advantage, and then come back to the joy and the delight.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely. And I love how you just share that with the shadow, right? Like there's that darker part, like when you're decluttering
mhm.
the house,
Yes.
it's that inside coming showing outside, right?
I love how you connected that. That was awesome.
And so it's like, how do you work through this?
Yeah.
And you're naturally doing that. I just got chills like right here.
Feel it.
Like
Yes.
you're just, lovingly
Hmm.
asking them questions. Why are
Oh
you
yeah. Oh
it?
yeah.
Why, do you need this many? Do you need that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's something we don't really think about it unless it's in your face. And or there's so many different things to think about at one time that's why we need each other.
Yes.
We need so many of us, and so we all need to show up authentically because we are bringing this light, this love energy into bloom, even
Yes.
in a world where we really need it right now.
Yeah. And I think like to bring it back to the clients like you did is we all need help and it's okay to ask for help. And it's there's people that are specifically designed and born to help you with what you need help with. And it's okay to use them. And it's even like you might not know it exists, but maybe you need help, I have no idea, making a blanket or a quilt for these t-shirts, that you've been holding on to for your kids for years and you've never done it yet. Send it off to somebody and have them do it. Pay them, even if you have to eat ramen for a day or a month or whatever. Okay, not that bad, of course, but like it's not like a fail if you go to somebody else to get help to complete a task that's been weighing on you, or to even just donate all those t-shirts, let them go. Like, will you ever use that t-shirt quilt if it's made, and it's we have these stories in our head, going back to your story of like, I am, a college athlete, or I am going to make this t-shirt quilt. I am going to fix that grill. And the reality is you haven't done it in 10 years, 20 years. Just have an honest conversation with yourself. Will you actually do that? Are you still that person? And it's okay to let it go, release it, and give yourself permission that, you know what? You are no longer that person. You have grown, you have changed, you've adapted, you've become a new human. And this new human is beautiful and it's exactly who you're supposed to be. And it's okay to let it go. I have chills over my entire body, but like,
Yes,
give
I
yourself
know there's
permission.
so much synchronicities here
Yeah.
because you talk about that t-shirt blanket. I
You
just
have one?
created one for my kids. So I
From
taught,
stuff from t-shirts of your childhood or from the
well,
kids?
so there were two t-shirts from
Uh-huh.
childhood that I
Uh-huh.
had, like because I dance and there's a shirt that says Dance Unlimited.
Yeah.
And then I had my favorite sarong that was tearing apart. So I included it for
I love
my
it. I love it.
shirt. But my 10 years of teaching at my last school just
Okay.
I
Okay.
created a king size blanket. It is super
Yes.
huge. And on the back of it, they even put my name and I put from year to year
That's
and the
cool.
title,
Love it.
right? And I was like, yeah. And, you're talking about, your children's clothing. And I was like, yeah, I wanted to keep my kids' clothes. I think I kept one of each for them.
Okay.
But now I'm like, where is it? Because I don't
Yeah.
think, the moves, all the moves,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And but I go, well, I got lots of pictures, and that's
Okay.
how I kept it, and that
Okay.
was the mindset,
Permission.
yeah,
Yeah.
giving myself it's okay. And
Yeah.
I recently misplaced or lost my year
Uh-oh. Oh.
my senior class yearbook, and I'm like, and it's driving me insane.
Is it?
It-
Okay.
well, it did.
I was like, did you get just be like,
I gotta
okay.
ground myself. I had to ground myself, and I keep being told by my guides that it's here,
Okay.
but let
You
me
can't
tell
find
you,
it.
it's been invisible. I'm like, it's gonna pop out at me when I
It
leave.
will in a very obvious place.
I go,
when it's time.
miss it, but yeah, so all this conversation that everything that you're saying, I go, gosh, this is very so
On point.
synchronized. And I'm
Yes.
so glad you're here to share this because there's
Yes.
medicine in just
Letting go.
releasing the things.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
medicine in just asking yourself. And I love you keep saying, give permission, give
Yeah.
yourself permission.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
number one. And also like that, what came to mind when you were talking just now was we have a lot of tasks that we put off for months, right? And especially like even myself. And that it's like there's a meme going around of like, oh, I finally did that task. I'm like, oh, how long did it take you? 30 seconds, you know? And it's like we've built it up in our brains that it's like this mountain. In reality, it's not even a molehill, you know? It's like literally like a flat surface that all we have to do is one phone call. But for whatever reason, our brains have just like, no, no, you know? And
Yeah.
it's even myself, like I paid my mother like for an hour of work to make phone calls for me because I didn't want to. It took her 5 minutes to do like 5 phone calls. And I was like, I'd been putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. So it happens to all of us, right? Like there's no
Yeah,
one
yeah,
that's
yeah.
immune. But it's like one of those things of like get an accountability buddy, like call your friends over. Like I wanted to start this group where rather than having like a book club or going out for drinks, you know, like you pick a like one person's house, you go to their house and they have a task to do, like organizing task to do, and that's like what you do. And so it's like maybe she wants to organize her pantry, maybe she wants to like redo her closet or like something, and then everyone helps her with her one task while you're drinking wine or eating ice cream, like whatever you want to do, but it's like an efficient, productive use of your time while you're still talking, you're still catching up, you're still connecting. And then the next week or the next month, it's the other person's turn to like, maybe they want to do the garage. And I was like, I want to start this. Like, I think it'd be amazing for people. And then it's maybe just admin and you're making those phone calls, you know, and like you're completing the tasks that we can't do on our own. But yet when you have a group of, you know, your 5 friends, you can complete the task. Like, I love that. That's going to
Yeah.
be, that's like potentially what I want to start as well.
The phone calls. I go, can
Yeah.
you do the phone calls on Zoom so I can join? I got all these calls. I go, I have 200 numbers I need to go through. And I'm like, okay, I'll start it tomorrow. I'll start it tomorrow. I've had these numbers for 2 weeks now. No, a week and a half. A week
Yeah.
and a half. I just got them recently. And I'm like, "Mm, what do I say again?" It's like that whole thing, like, what do I say? But it's like all part of having a business. You got to make
Mm,
the phone calls, you got to
yes.
reach out, you got to connect, and got to go through the no's and the rejections and the,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And sometimes it's hard, you know, and it's not even like it's always a fear of something, right? Like and like for me, I will tell myself like I'm exhausted, I don't have the energy, like something like that, you know, or like I'll do it tomorrow. I'm just not at the mental capacity to do it. And then it's like I've found myself just sitting in that energy. And I was like, Steph, that's not good. Like we need to clear that out because you will never come out of that no energy if you keep thinking and saying you have no energy. And so like when I find myself where I'm just like, you know, when you're just mentally, you're like, I'm done. I'm like, nope, I'm full of energy. I feel great. I'm full of like whatever. I'm gonna eat this, you know, banana and it's gonna give me fuel and I'm gonna be able to do blah, 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 you know? And it's like you're almost like talking yourself into it to a certain extent. Or one of my clients, she's really big into magic, like which is like a huge thing. I didn't even know this. But she said you're hypnotizing yourself. And I was like, you can call it whatever you want to call it. Like I will accept it and take it because it works, you know, and it's like mind over matter, positivity, hypnotism, like whatever, you know. But
Yeah.
you have to change the mental way you look at something and the
Mhm.
message that you're continuously giving yourself. Because even my clients, like they just sprout the negativity at me, right? And I would just gently reword and nudge what they're saying, you know, of like, I want to do that, or like, I don't even know an example, but it's like, I will do that. You know, it's not I want or I possibly will. It's like I'm doing it today. And just like restructuring how you like say the things over and over and over
Yeah.
again, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Our words are so powerful. Our words are
Mm,
things,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Our words are what manifest. So it's like you got to catch yourself, and
yeah.
um, it's like, so stupid. Ooh, you just told
Yes.
yourself something.
Self-talk. Yes.
Yeah, the self-talk or why did I do that? Or when you're looking in the mirror, going,
Yeah.
"Gosh, I wish my eyebrows were better, or I
Right.
wish something, or I wish I
All
was there."
comparison. Yeah.
Right. And then rather than saying, I have my health today. Good
Yeah.
morning, beautiful.
Hello,
Morning,
gorgeous.
gorgeous, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Starting to say that. And there was a time
Yes.
where I had to do that myself. So we're over here going all the way on this whole
That's all good.
aspect, but it's like all mindset, right? Like
Yeah,
decluttering,
yeah.
you were saying, it's mindset. It's how you feel about yourself. That's been
Hmm.
ex what was in what is it? What's below is above, what's within is
Yeah.
without, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
so here, you're telling yourself you're ugly or
Mm,
oh, you're the worst, you're unacceptable, but you're putting that energy out and that's what you're magnetizing.
correct.
Then, but if you were to just switch in, just even if you don't believe it at that moment, just keep saying, Good morning, gorgeous. Hi, gorgeous. You
Yeah.
did great today.
Yes.
You did your best today,
Hmm.
how that starts changing you, even just a little bit. Telling yourself, I'm healthy. I'm going to eat this food and it's going to nourish my body.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
setting, yeah,
Happy
sometimes,
choices.
right? Happy
Yeah.
choice, the power of our thoughts, right?
So I started like I noticed myself going down the negative self-talk, of like the comparison, and it was like, why is this guy talking to me? And I'd be like, Stephanie, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? No. And so I started in the mornings, I would put on two songs and I would dance naked in front of my mirror. And I would just be like making faces at myself, and then like just having a giddy good time. But it was like, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, you're amazing, and like just being very in my feminine of like dance, 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 and I loved it. And so I recommend that for anybody who is going through some negative self-talk, just get naked and like be happy and joyful. And like so this is going down a tantrum. I went to a boobies and brunch the other day. And yeah, so like the women are topless and you don't start that way off, but it was so beautiful in the femininity of like, because it was very ceremonial. It's not about sex at all, right? It's about sensual, it's about feminine, it's about embracing women. And it was like, I've never just like looked at boobs before, or like a female form. And it was giving us permission to like, we held hands, and we can just look at each other. And women were gorgeous, and like the woman frame, no matter like you had people that were extremely like small and you had bigger women and like their entire frames, like it was just so beautiful and loving and like, yeah, it was an amazing experience. And I recommend that like you don't have to go topless with your friends, but just be more loving towards each other and towards yourself. Um, and it really just brought a very good energy. And so yeah, go like, and I'm not like a nudist or anything. That was like a very unique experience. But it's just like it brought to mind though, like how harsh we are on ourselves. And like, it's like, oh, if you have cellulite or like you want to lose, 20 pounds, 50 pounds, like whatever, and it's like, you are made exactly how you're meant to be made. You are gorgeous and like, period. And it's just, yeah. And a lot of my clients, when you have that negative self-talk, it manifests into clutter. And so or you're bad eating habits, or like when you don't and I don't want to say don't love yourself because I feel like we all love ourselves in a certain way. It's just sometimes it's stronger than others, or like you might have a bad day or like a low love day. Um, and it's like you won't put your shoes away, or you leave the mail piling up. And then next thing you know, it's been 6 months and you now have 6 months worth of mail that are on that table and it's extremely overwhelming. And it just started from that one day of not having a low love day, and then you start overlooking it. Clutter blindness is an actual thing and we just don't see clutter. And so until someone's like coming to your house, right? And then you suddenly see all the clutter. But even if you don't see it, you subconsciously know it's there and you energetically feel it. And so I recommend to all my clients to go through their entire house at least once a year and just put hands on almost everything that you possibly can. Go through that junk drawer, like the surface. You're like, oh no, I need all this. You might need the top part, but I guarantee you there's at least, 25% of what's below that you don't need. Or like through a closet, go through your clothes. If you haven't worn something or you know that every time you put it on, it makes you feel not pretty, get rid of it. Don't keep it, If it
Right.
associates with an ex that you don't have any love for, get rid of it. And so it's like all of our things tell a story as well. And like sometimes that story is not ready or not good for this current life and you need to let it go. And so we don't see it though. We have that shirt and we're like, oh, I'm not like, you don't actively make the decision to keep it or get rid of it. It's just there. And so we have to be intentional with our belongings on a semi-regular basis, every year, every 5 years, whatever you want to decide, and like get rid of things, because like you change as a human and like always, constantly, and like you may have loved that at one point. Now it's just taking that negative energy, absorbing it, and not allowing XYZ into your future. And so, yeah, little one tangent there.
No, I love this. This is so important because I mean, you're it's all in alignment, everything
Yes.
that you're sharing. So is there
Yeah.
anything that you're calling into alignment or
Like in
calling?
my life
Yes,
or into like businessy related.
businessy, personal.
I am calling into alignment. Like my this year is focused on me finding a committed partner. And so I am working on myself wholeheartedly. I did it 8 weeks with a life coach that we were focusing on that. And to like release the things that have the blocks, the stuff that always comes up that you're like, don't know is even inside of you. And I've been going on dates and signing up for like mobile things. And I've joined a lot of like uh, not metaphysical, but conscious groups in Houston that have just the humans that you want to be around because they uplift you and they're soul conscious and they're just amazing humans. And so, even if I don't find a so-called committed partner, just being around this group of people has been worth it. And so that's what I'm calling in is just more conscious focused living. And fun story. So this you asked, so I'm going to share.
Yes, please. I sure did. This is about your sacred journey. I'm like, look at you, queen.
The so I used this is gonna be random, an electrolyte tablet in my water. I would just drop a half a tablet in and drink it throughout the day for the last like 2 years. Recently I chipped the back of my tooth, like the enamel, not down to the nerve, thank God. I was like, that's definitely angel focused and watched. Um, Created by the citric acid in the drink. And so it softens your enamel when you drink citric acid. So like if you add lemon to your drink and you're drinking it throughout the day, like it's not a big deal if you just drink it, but I was drinking it literally 8 hours a day, right? For the last couple of years. And so it softened my enamel, chipped it, whatever. So I have started, this was 2 weeks ago, a week ago. I created a whole list of what I needed to do energetically to heal my tooth, even though you cannot, according to Western medicine, regrow enamel and or your tooth. And so I haven't done it yet, right? Like I'm in the process of, but
Okay.
like I was like, all right, we're gonna do gym energy healings, we're gonna do shamanic journeying. I ordered like the different toothpaste, like it has like nano something something in it that makes it grow back and get stronger, enamel. I've started pulling, so like swishing with sesame oil in the mornings, which is Ayurvedic process. I started made a list of different foods and stuff to eat. I bought some vitamins that are really good for growing teeth, and I just did like all the things, right?
All the
And
things.
so my goal is to heal it and grow it, and that's my true test of like if this energy healing
I
works,
love
and I believe it does. And so everyone around me, of the it was like Stephanie, but I was like, I don't need naysayers. I'm gonna do it.
I'm all for it. I go, how
Yeah.
about, I'm in on it too because I go, I've been working on my gums because,
Okay.
my dentist never told me that I had gum disease.
Oh
Okay.
no.
But I'm like, I've been doing the things, right? Like I've
Yeah.
been swishing with this. I forget
Okay.
what kind of oil it is.
Uh-huh.
And I need to get back
Is
to
it
you.
chemically made or is it natural?
It's natural.
Okay.
Natural,
Okay.
it helps. And then even like coconut oil
Yeah.
help, you know.
Sesame oil is better than coconut oil for your gums, I believe. I believe. Look into that.
I will. That's
Yeah.
Ayurvedic.
Yeah,
Here we go,
Ayurvedic.
talking
Yeah.
about all the things, right?
Yeah.
Talking about decluttering,
My
right?
life, my friend.
No, but I love this because it's real. This is
Yeah.
you're a real person,
That's
and
right.
you're more than just the declutter woman.
Declutter queen. Yeah.
Yeah, the declutter queen, you know. But it's like you're bringing it all,
Yeah.
and so like for me, I even started like my little apothecary little area, you know.
Same, same. I have it upstairs. Yeah. I love that so
It's
much.
like in the china cabinet that I go,
Yep.
I'm gonna just use this. We're
Let
gonna
me see what I want. You feel like, yeah,
and
it's
so I
so
put
cool.
it, yeah. So it's like, okay, I got all this stuff because, there's so much what's been coming to surface or coming up for me a lot is what am I putting on my body? Like this right now that I'm wearing,
Mhm.
the the material isn't as good because I'm not going to be able to sweat as much. And it's
Okay.
not a good material to sweat. And all these things coming around. So everything that you're sharing, like, yeah, we have the power within us.
Yes.
So I'm with you. So we can keep
Thank you,
tabs
thank
with
you.
each other about
Yes, we'll heal
how.
our mouths.
Yeah, I know from doing it, it has improved quite a bit from last time, but I was never told that I had it.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, they did the number thing of
Hmm.
how bad it is. I go,
Yeah.
ooh, that sounds horrible. And it dropped like a couple numbers now. So it's getting better, but just bringing that awareness, like, oh my gosh, I really need to take care of my teeth. And
Yes.
also when you're getting older, you're not able to clear everything, the toxins that are in your body as easily as when you're younger either. So that's
Hmm.
a whole nother thing. Or maybe that's a lie. Maybe I need to change that thinking as well.
That's a lie.
Yeah, so I gotta change
Yeah.
that thinking, right? I
Yeah.
was catching myself. I was like,
Yeah.
so
That's I truly, truly, truly believe that like our realities are exactly as we have created them, and like everything is changeable and malleable. Like we have the power to affect like any change, you know? And it's like, yes, you might have to do some healing and clearing and going away and stuff, right? But no, because you see people that are 95, right? And they feel great and their bodies are great and they're healthy and they're moving and they're dancing
and
and
moving.
you
Yeah.
know, and it's like that whole story that you hit a certain age and you suddenly your body stops working, I think is a
That's a
fallacy
story, right?
created by, yeah, that's a story
That's a
created
story.
by like Big Pharma or someone, you know, like whomever, the doctors, like, I don't know, but we won't
Yeah.
go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But no, it's
Everything.
yeah, no, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that. Do you ever search like gums spiritual meaning?
You know what? I haven't. Thank you for that
Yeah, Google
reminder.
that one. I'm a huge, anytime I have a physical ailment, pain, especially because it's random, I always will Google spiritual meaning plus whatever it is, um, to just be like, okay, is it a lesson that I need to know right now and like sit with it, you know?
Really?
Um,
My
yeah.
thing is my ears too. So I have this whole sinus thing, and like I spoke to another sister of ours, from the academy, and
Uh-huh.
she's like, "Oh, it's because you're not being heard." I go, "Damn right, I'm not being heard." I mean, I had to flip out, you know. And I go, "That is so true." And then, but it's like, yeah. And I go, "How do I get rid of that if they're not hearing me? So what do I do about it?" So. That's a whole nother story in itself. But thank you for that
I
reminder.
think potentially, right? It's not even like them hearing you, but you being heard. So just speak your truth and like whether or not the lesson lands, because you can't affect anybody else's behavior, thoughts, etc. Right? Like the only way we can change is ourselves. So maybe you change the need to like be heard.
Okay.
No idea.
Yeah. I'm taking it in. I'm listening.
Yeah, yeah.
I go, this is, wow. We have talked about so many
So
things,
many
and
things.
I hope all who's listening received a whole lot.
Something, one thing at least.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's so many things,
yeah.
about the
So many
declutter.
nuggets.
Yeah. And if you want to reach out to Stephanie, are you just in Houston doing
I
the
am in Houston. We do travel. So like there's a couple organizers that own their own business, but like we'll work for each other at times. And we'll go if people want to fly us in and pay for us, like we'll definitely come wherever you want us to go. We're talking about going to Tahoe in June to help a client. And so like there are options. But yeah, I'm mainly in Houston, San Antonio, Austin, potentially. Yeah.
So for those who are listening and you want a touch of Stephanie's magic of Solstice Living, her information will be in the description. But before
Yes.
we go, Stephanie,
Yes.
one last question.
Oh, bring it.
So, we talked about so many different things in here. What is it right now that feels important for you to share for those who are listening that are in their own sacred journey of becoming or remembering, I should say?
I think it's like just give yourself permission to not have it all and not compare to other people. Because I could even tell you, I was listening to one of your podcasts last night and I was like, oh, she's so great, you know, like the person you were interviewing. And I'm like, Steph, your journey is completely different. Like you're awesome at certain things that other people are not awesome at, and that's okay, you know? And it was like the comparison always gets us. And it's no matter where you're at on your journey, like just understand and accept that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And like no one else can do what you can do. And so just believe that about yourself and like love yourself for it. Like all the strengths that you bring to this world. Like even if you think you're not making an impact, you're making an impact. And it could be just someone you smile at the road that was having a bad day and you uplifted them, and it doesn't have to be like you're curing cancer type thing. So I would say just love yourself a little bit more and accept that everything is for your highest and best, and it's all medicine, and you're exactly where you are meant to
Mm,
be. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. Perfect
Yes.
message. That even spoke to
Yes.
me.
Yay.
So you got one person who heard.
Yay.
Well, beautiful souls, if today's story moved you, inspired you, or reminded you that you're not walking this path alone, I invite you to follow and subscribe to Sacred Her Story podcast. And also, Stephanie has a podcast too. So her podcast information will be in the description as well. But Stephanie, feel free to share where can they follow you with your
Yes.
podcast?
So just YouTube as well, Solstice Living, and that's Soul with Soul. And it's just, I took a brief hiatus as we talked about, but it tells about different angel encounters that I feel I've had and share those. It talks about how to organize. I have my ABCs of home organization. So that one talks, each letter is an organizing principle and then an action item that goes along with that. And so that you can, if you are wanting to learn about organizing, I would suggest you start there. Definitely.
Boom. There you go.
Boom.
Thank you. Thank you, Edgar. I'm gonna need to check that out. Well, thank you again for being here. So this, thank you for listening, for those who are listening,
Yes, thank you
enjoying.
so much.
Yeah, and thank you, Stephanie, for sharing your sacredness and your love, your journey. It is so magical.
Thank you so much for having me. I greatly appreciate the time and always a joy to be in your energy and in your presence as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. So remember, y'all, for she is sacred her, that is sacred, highly exalted rebel. It is saying yes to ourselves and trusting our own inner wisdom. Until next time, be blessed and sending so much love to you all.